Hey there. So, thank you very much to everyone who was kind enough to give me feedback on the first beginner series on turns. I really appreciate all the feedback. We're going to keep this experiment going, and for the next couple weeks, I'm going to be covering poi flowers. They're also sometimes called compound circles, trochoids or roulettes, what have you. I've heard a couple other terms used. Essentially what they boil down to is this idea of your hand and the poi both creating a circular motion in the same plane, either in front of your body or on the side of your body in wheel plane, yes? So we're going to start off with inspin and gradually work our way to anti-spin, and this one is going to be a video just on the basics of inspin. So to start with, you're going to take your dominant hand and have the poi go around counterclockwise if your dominant hand is right, clockwise if your dominant hand is left. As you do so, you're going to really concentrate on seeing if you can, how far you can reach in every single direction as you go around. As far left as you can go, as far down as you can go, as far right as you can go, and as far up as you can go. And yes, I know I'm not creating as big a circle as I can, you'll forgive me with the low ceilings. But as you're doing this, I want you to look for particular points. And we're going to stop the poi and create a smaller circle at each of those points. To start with, we're going to create a circle at the bottom of this bigger circle. The way we do this is, as the poi is going around, we take that moment when it's directly in front of body center and kind of stop the hand for just a second as though it hit a brick wall. And the poi will continue to turn around it. You might have to give it a little bit of juice to get it up and over, but in the grand scheme of things, you're looking to go from big circle to little circle pretty smoothly, right? We go back to the big circle, and we're going to take this same idea and apply it to the top of the circle. That is, when it hits the top, our hand just stops as though it's hit a brick wall, and the poi should continue moving and create a smaller circle up top, right? Awesome. Now we're going to take this same trick and we're going to apply it to the right and the left spots as well. So as my hand is going around making these big circles, I'm going to stop it over at the right side, and I usually find I have to put a little bit of effort into just dropping the poi in front of my arm in order to complete that motion, yes? But once again with the other two, as soon as that smaller circle is complete, I'm moving my arm back around in that big circle. And as I'm doing this, one other thing I really want to point out is how my arm is going out even with my shoulder when I make that petal. It's not down here, it's straight out. It gets very, very tempting, especially when your arm gets fatigued, to try and pull your arm closer to body center and not really make it all the way up and everything. And as you can see, that totally loses the clarity of the shape. It's worth the pain, even if your shoulders are a little fatigued. We'll do the same thing on the left side. As we reach around to the left side, you want to create a circle when your arm is directly out from your shoulder, right? Now, basically what this is doing is it's training your body to recognize each of these four compass points and know how to break into a flower petal when you get there, yeah? So now that we've individually taken care of all four of those petals, we're going to start building flowers that are two petal at a time. So for instance, we're going to start with the top and bottom. If we go back into our big circle, we're going to create that petal on the bottom and then the petal on the top. But in between these two petals, I really want you to be thinking, I'm still creating that big circle that I started with, right? Which means that my arm is always as extended as I can get it in between those 2 points. You might have to pull your hand just a hair closer to yourself in order to complete that petal motion, but in between you definitely want to be stretching it as much as you can. And once again, look for the clarity of those points. It's down body center, up body center. Cool. Now we're going to do side to side. So we're going to do right side, left side, right side, left side, right side, left side. And once again, it can be really tempting to just jump your hand straight back and forth between these two positions. It might even feel a little bit awkward not to do it, but I really, really want you to focus on getting that high, high and that low, low in between each of these petals, yeah? All right, so now that we've built up 2 petals, both vertically and horizontally, we're ready to build up a 4-petal flower, yes? So, we go back to our big old extension, and we mentally think, I'm going to go bottom, right, up, left, bottom, right, up, left. And if you've trained your hand enough up to this point, you should naturally find that these compass points fall straight into line as you're moving your hand around. And of course, we're looking to extend the arm as far as we can in between each petal. Yes? Also, be very, very careful at this point to ensure that you are never reaching your hand behind your shoulder. I've known more than a few people who've really, really badly damaged their shoulders by doing that. It should always either be in line with your shoulder or in front of it. Yeah? Cool. So, another thing you'll want to note, some of you doing this may, as you're creating these petals, be a little confused in thinking, well, you know, I know it's supposed to be 4 petals, but as I'm counting in my head as they go around, this feels like 5 petals. And there's a reason for that. Namely, we're creating this big circle and we're creating 4 little circles inside of it. That isn't a total of 4 circles, that is a total of 5 circles, or 5 downbeats, if you will. So if you instead want to count the number of times the boy is pointing towards the floor, the count is 5. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. You can count the downbeats, you can count the petals themselves. Either option is totally legit. Anywho, once you've done that in one direction with one hand, I want you to go ahead and go through that same process, except in the other direction. If you started out counterclockwise, now you're going clockwise. Once again, building up, petal by petal. And in between, treating this shape as though it's a full extension. And of course, once you've worked through all the petals, you start building them in 2s. Ooh. And then doing all 4 petals, making sure that you clarify each of the points around the circle where you're creating those petals. And then of course, the next step is to do it with your other hand. So I would say that the goal for this week is to be able to do 10 of each kind of flower, both directions, with each hand. So that'd be 10 2 petals, both vertical and horizontal, and 10 4 petals with each hand both ways. Yeah. So that will put us in a good position for next week, where we will talk about how you put together multiple hands in order to be able to perform flowers that the 2 points interact with each other a little bit more, yeah? Cool. So, thank you guys for watching so much, and I will see you next Friday. Thanks for watching. Peace.